Thing in this theater, everybody in the back, please sit down or leave. And all the people that are here and are still awake, did not sleep over from the last one. We're going to get now still an interesting topic from Winfried Tilanus about privacy or privacy, however you call it, and identity processes. Winfried Tilanus.
Hi, good evening. It's great to see there's still lots of people, but a little less than with then. Well, privacy, or maybe I should say privacy. When we talk about privacy, we all feel it's very important. We don't want to lose our privacy. But it seems to be a bit fuzzy. What is privacy? What is it about? Where is privacy about? Is it about information, or is it about control? And how comes that there are some people I want less privacy with, and some people I want more privacy with? And what is anyway so important about me that's worth protecting? What about me is so important? These certainly are not. I don't feel these are important. Neither this, something out of my DNA, I believe. Neither do I feel that with this, something that's essential of me gets extracted from me. So what is so important about me? Who am I? Help! All right, what went wrong here? I believe what went wrong is that we started at the wrong side. We started with privacy and not about thinking who we are, what our identity is, what we want to protect. So, I will try to go the other way around in this talk. I will start with identity. And then from there on, I will move to a new definition of privacy. I've tried to make some revolution there. And finally, I will translate that back to some challenges we have in the digital age and try to get some new answers or new view on the problems we're facing. So, let's move on with identity. I think to understand what identity is, it's a quite big problem. There are lots of philosophers, sociologists, and so on, talking about them. I won't get you in all these discussions. You know, they're only fun when you get paid to do that. But there are two people I want to talk about here. The first one is Sigmund Freud. The other one is Michel Foucault. To start with Freud, he says identity is a process of identification. It's a process of saying I am the same as you. It's a process of saying I feel the same, I belong to you, and by that building up some own identity. Something like that. We look the same, we do the same, we have the same party, we're all hackers at the big hackfest, or whatever, we are the same, and that's the way Freud thinks your identity is built. Then to move on to Foucault. Well, Foucault went the other way around, and he made it a bit nastier, identity. He said, identity is about difference. Identity is about you saying you're other, something else different from me. And with Foucault, it's also about power. Foucault says, identity is a process of saying, you are a criminal, you are an outlaw, you are mad, you are a terrorist, you should be locked away. Identity with Foucault is a very nasty process. Extremely nasty it can be. And believe me, being dead is one of the least things that can happen, according to Foucault. Well, great. So how to move on from here? We have these two processes. The one of Freud saying, I'm the same as the other, and one of Foucault saying, I'm different from you. And now there are some smart asses, all right, nice boys and girls, in some stream which says call themselves cultural identity, and they say both happen at the same time. Both things happen, and both things at the same time together make up our identity. Quite conflicting processes. Well, quite a story, but what can we conclude about identity then? Well, it's dynamic. It is something that is happening. It's not something fixed. It is the process of saying we're the same, of getting said you're different. It's about positioning. It's about how two persons or two entities position towards the other. And it's in a relation. Identity can't be understood without looking at the relation it's created in. So, this is some corner out of the philosophy and sociology, psychology, mixture of it, on what identity might be. Well, let's move on. Back to these. Are these my identity? No, they are not. They are just tokens that are being handed out inside a relation to remember the relation. They're just a bunch of tokens. They have nothing to do with my identity. These can get stolen. I can lose these. People can steal my password, my credentials, my certificates, whatever. But these are tokens and not my identity. So, now let's try to understand privacy. What is privacy then about? When we take this view on identity as starting point. Well, I hate slides with lots of text, but this one I have to do. Privacy is the ability to influence the identity processes in a relationship by controlling the information the other party has about you. So, it is about information. It is about controlling that information. But it's bound to a relationship, and it has a purpose, that information. It's not just any information, it's information you need to influence the identity processes in that relationship. Wow, that's something else than my name or my login or whatever. So, how does it happen? How does this work, this privacy? Well, it works all the time, automatically. I'm shielding off information all the time that I don't want others to have. Things I don't want to know because I think that would imply the wrong kind of relationship. For example, them accessing my money makes that I start shielding off information. But also, the information I present is very dependent on what I expect from the relationship. When I expect that you would love to see me as a family man, well, I would present a picture of me as a family man. When I expect you would like to see me more as a sporty outdoor person, well, present the other happy picture of me. It's automatically presenting, and you do this with all the time. Not only images, in the things you wear, not only in the information you shield, but also all the time in every word you talk to anybody, you make positionings. You do this all the time. You make these choices all the time. You make these choices, and by these choices you determine the relation. And even before